list of Sanjay's awards is long, but I will mention just the latest. That is firm SBA has won the Leaf World Future Building of 2015, being the overall winner of the MIPIM Architectural Review Future Projects 2014 at Cannes, France, and winning 5 A+ Architizer Awards in New York in 2016, 2014, and 2013. Welcome, Sanjay, and over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I'm very, very honored to be a part of a vital conversation. One that I think we are blessed to have, because I think knowing better will mean we will act better. So, Sanjay, thank you for joining us. I know it was a very last minute thing, but you've been very gracious and kind to accept this and have this conversation with me. I hope to discover a lot through you, and I hope that some of the people seated here will understand why I do what I'm doing relentlessly.
Yes, actually I had to cancel something, but anyway.
Aren't you happy you had to cancel it? You get to talk to me, Sanjay.
I'm very happy. Good. Why do you think I cancelled it? So I was told that you're going to have this conversation in the fireplace with Mirza, and I said, in my mind I said, why Mirza? And then I started Googling her and seeing the relevant work that she's done towards, greening, towards sending public messages for sustainability, for recycling, and especially that earth message that you sent across. That was brilliant. Those AI crash moving and the words across. So the message there was that recycling is really important, and she's actually, there's so many causes that she's fighting for that it's really interesting to know. And then I found out that her father is an architect as well.
Yes, he was. That's true. I grew up amidst models. Not the variety that I eventually became, but the ones that everybody in this room knows really well. Sandpapering furniture, understanding design, and I actually have to share something very personal with you today, which I think will put into perspective my need to do what I do and to use the opportunity of the platform that life has provided me with, which is communication, to help improve people's awareness about climate change, about the need for sustainability, and create an environment of harmony and balance. My father didn't want to have a child. He had decided over 35 years ago that he would not produce a child because he believed that the world was going to hell, and that he thought it was unfair to bring an innocent being into a world that would not have clean water and clean air and a quality of life that he believed every human being, every living being must have, because that's what nature has bestowed upon us naturally, for free. And I am 35 years old, recently married, and I see myself posed with the same fear, asking the same questions, whether this world that we currently live in is one in which I would like to bring an innocent being into. And especially because I'm an urban dweller, I live in the city, I can't afford to up and leave to the mountains or to a greener environment that would have cleaner air and cleaner water. But I live here, in the midst of a concrete. I hate to use the word jungle because jungles are so beautiful. I don't know why concrete spaces are called jungles, because they don't really reflect the truth that the jungle does. And that one unifying truth is that every living being is connected. So I can't up and leave. I'm living here. I have to deal with the serious threat that I think every urban dweller is dealing with, which is the risk to health, the risk to life, and the risk to progress. in our truest sense. And I hope that our conversation here today, Sanjay, will give us the opportunity to explore how much better can we do, and why it's important for us to do better. I really want to discover some of the challenges that you face as an architect in convincing people why it's important and pertinent to create an ecological balance in development, in the living spaces that you create for people. Because I think that what becomes very, very evident every time there is any kind of discourse on environmental conservation or finding a balance, or when development is discussed, people say there will always be collateral damage. Trees will be cut for roads to get built. That is the collateral damage. And it's always a conversation between them and us. Government bodies perceive environmentalists as them. They're the bad guys. They are the spanner in the wheel. They don't allow things to move forward. When in fact I think what they're actually trying to do is save everyone and save everybody from the threat of loss of life, loss of health, degeneration, and the rest. And I think, and this comes from a lack of awareness and a lack of understanding. So please tell me, as somebody who has won so many awards for the extraordinary work you've done, you've gone to so many places, you've done such amazing work, what is the one challenge that you always face in convincing the people that you're doing projects for that what you want to do is the right thing to do?
We were just discussing this earlier. When in an architectural project, if 100% is about doing the project right, 5% is doing the design, 60% is convincing the client that what you're doing is right and is good for the ecology and for the environment, and the balance 40% is actually seeing the project come through the way it is envisaged, especially in India. Just to put it in perspective, Bombay has grown from 20,000 acres 4 decades ago to 150,000 acres. But look at Pune. In the same time, it has grown from 2,000 acres to 111,000 acres. I mean, that's huge. So what's happening is, Pune used to be this little city that people used to travel 3.5 hours to go. But now, if you leave Bombay and you go towards Pune, it's almost like you haven't left the city, because there's, except for the little mountain in the middle, which you have to cross, Bombay has extended all the way, Pune has extended all the way. In the process, all the natural resources have been removed. And convincing a developer to create landscape spaces that are required is
have you ever told somebody not to build here? That you should not be building here? Have you ever told somebody?
I have. Because sometimes the site is so beautiful, you don't want to build anything there. But coming back to that, so most developing countries, the most developed countries, have a lot of work which is done by the government, and they do the master plans, and then there are portions and parcels given to other people. In India, unfortunately, 95% of it is done by private developers, and private developers are essentially working towards profit. So,
but a skewed idea of profit, which is essentially short-term
yes,
money,
yes,
right? But not long-term sustainability, and that is also of their own life.
Just leave 10% open space. I think it should be mandated to make 50% open space. You have to leave 50% open space. There are projects that we've done which you generated 150% on the same plot. In terms of garden at the bottom, garden on terraces, and garden in balconies and all of that. So 50% should be the bare minimum that you leave. You have to ensure that there is open space.
But that will only come from understanding how important that open space is. Right now, nobody wants to give open space. Forget open spaces, nobody wants to leave any space.
That's true.
Because they want to make money.
Yeah. I mean, look at the whole of Bandra, Juhu, buildings are starting out virtually from the road.
Okay, waste management is a huge area that I've been focusing on. And I really want you to share with us, because I keep thinking about the population density in an area, and then I think about the consumption of that population density, and I also wonder where all that waste is going to go. It's showing up, it's landing up in our drainage, it's landing up in our oceans, our seas, our rivers, our forests, in our intestines, our kidneys, and where not, in the form of cancer, heart disease. And we are hurting ourselves because we're not managing our consumption better and we're not managing our waste better. Tell me, Sanjay, as somebody who understands Mumbai, especially you who understands Mumbai as well as you do, what do you believe is an urgent solution on waste management solutions for Mumbai? We had Deonar burning up. We discovered that when Deonar was burning, we were burning our e-waste. And we were burning plastic waste, and we continue to see it. But what are the things that buildings, development, corporations can do to improve waste management?
First is the building process itself. So there must be a rule that says that
Even
when you do it,
better driveways
building,
and segregation.
yeah, not a single amount of waste of construction debris has to get out of the site. And there are ways to do it. We're doing a township in Rajasthan where every single part of the debris is reused. Even the scaffolding is being reused to make furniture. So there's not a single thing that goes out of the site.
Do you save money by reusing?
You of course save money by reusing.
Well, we're trying to give you incentive here. So you save money by reusing. Great. Okay.
And waste management, separating all of it, taking care of it, and there are so many ways that you can recycle and use part of it back again. I mean, look at Gift City today is one of the first fully planned cities in the country that are coming up. It's been very slow because it was difficult to get people to move there. Gift City, for those of you who don't know, it is between Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. It's a brand new city, 900 acres. They've built sewage tunnels below the road on the site, which are 6 meters wide and 8 meters high. So a truck can go in, which means a road never gets dug up. Look at what's happening in Bombay. So you build a road. So again, you're wasting. All the time it's waste,
I
waste,
feel
waste.
that happens because of the gap between different networks. So they don't work in tandem with each other. But that's another conversation
Yes,
for another day.
but somebody needs to start.
But
doing
do you
something
think
now.
it can start with enforcing waste segregation at a building and planning level
Absolutely.
and constructing bio-waste systems? Because
Yes.
I know that a significant amount of waste disposal can be minimized if hospitals, schools, canteens and cooperative societies start building waste management plants within their
Of
compound,
course,
within
it's
their
very
infrastructure.
important. This has to be, and it has to be made a rule because in India nobody understands that it's not a rule. Then everything is okay.
No, we love
Chal raha hai,
making rules. In
chal
India,
raha hai.
everybody loves making rules. Because we feel that we are the rebels, right? We think the rule is there just to make life difficult. We refuse to believe the rules exist to make life better. And that's where the problem begins and ends. We've run out of time, Sanjay. Sorry, I could talk to you forever on this subject. Yeah. But do you want to open this up to a Q&A? Do we have time for that?
No, unfortunately we
Okay.
do not.
That's it. We've been asked to shut up. Sorry.
I think one thing we should request, since Ecotimes is doing this, is that Ecotimes promises us that every day you will carry some article on recycling, on reuse, on
Can we make it
propagating
a
sustainable
can we?
architecture.
Yeah, can we? Because this is, in fact, when I was invited to come and speak here, I was very, very happy. I know this has been happening over the last couple of years. This is a very important conversation, and I think it is upon each of us, and especially more so because you host this incredible event, that you continue this dialogue through the year. You know, give us solutions and let's collectively join hands to insist and enforce systems and just addressing of systems and help people follow rules, you know, and that the gap between them and us minimizes to us and becomes just us, you know, and that understanding of.
You know, you pick up a paper in Amsterdam, and every single day there's an article on something to do with design. It could be product design, it could be architecture design, interior design, lighting, something, but there's an awareness that is created. And in India, this awareness is not there. And if a newspaper doesn't carry it, because newspapers have the maximum reach, if you don't carry it, it's never going to happen. And we get a design article once in maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So that's not enough. You have to have it every day. Something small, something pertinent, something important.
Sure.
Great, we've got a promise here. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. And the right people from ETH are also here, so I'm sure they've heard you loud and clear. I request Mr. Manish Srivastava, Head Marketing, Saint-Gobain, India, Glass Business, to kindly come on the stage and present via Sanjay with a memento as a token of our appreciation. Thanks, Sanjay. They need a photograph. And I think they want a group photograph too.